Hello and welcome to a new episode of Where No Pod Has Gone Before, a science fiction podcast. I am your host, Julian,
And I am your co host, Titan.
and today it is old school. We're going back
Indeed.
to 1956 for a beloved classic, Forbidden Planet, directed by Fred Wilcox, starring Walter Pidgeon and Leslie Nielsen, funnily
Leslie
enough. I
Nielsen,
was not
yes.
ready for that.
I also wasn't, because I think I remember seeing the name on the poster and I was like, oh my God, but then I'd forgotten about it when I
Yeah.
first, and I was like, hey, I know this guy. It's Shirley.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, like famous for
Yeah.
Airplane and the Naked Gun films, more so
Oh,
than any
yes.
dramatic role he ever did. And obviously, the brilliance of those performances is that he plays them dramatically, right? There's no hint of comedy in his
Exactly.
performance,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I was waiting for him to say something like, surely you can't be serious, right?
yeah.
But
Just to clip it up.
alas.
But yeah, Forbidden Planet is a new one for both of us. I think it's probably one that we were both hovering around over the years.
Yeah.
Like I know
I mean,
have to get to this at some stage.
exactly.
but
It's
yeah.
one that as a sci-fi fan you've definitely heard about and you've seen images and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
it's one where you're like, yeah, one day,
Yeah.
because old films like this are a little bit sort of tedious. But like once you sit down and actually watch them, I mean, from the first shot, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so we can maybe talk about our gut reactions a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I was loving the look of the film, particularly.
Yes,
I was
absolutely.
blown away. It's gorgeous, presented in CinemaScope, as I know
Yes,
we're gonna get to it at some
yes,
point,
yes.
which I was very happy about. But yeah, I was loving the look and themes of the film. Some things maybe a little bit dated and clunky,
Yeah.
particularly the gender dynamic.
Yeah,
I think
it's a
is
little
really
bit
tough.
yeah,
It's quite
absolutely.
tough, and I wasn't like particularly attached to any character or like,
No.
oh no, not him. When people die and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Um, but it's
Yeah,
a
I mean I definitely kept thinking like the rest of the crew are red shirts. Right? I was like,
yes,
these guys are all just red shirts. I
yeah,
don't know who
yeah,
any of them are, they're all gonna die. Like I
yeah.
was definitely expecting that.
But it is a wonderful cultural artifact. It's nice to trace some history that like a starting point for a lot of things in sci-fi to this, and it
Yes.
yeah, and we've spoken about cultural context a lot on the pod so far, I think, and this is a great way to look back into the 1950s and how people were feeling at the time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, definitely of merit, this film, historically and just as a watch, as a piece
I
of
mean,
entertainment still.
it's literally like you watching every scene is like an artwork, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
literally is, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it was tough to choose a background, to have here because I was like, oh, I want that as my background, and the next scene I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
that's even better. So, yeah, I mean, it's just visually, it's beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
you can turn the sound off and just watch half the film
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just for the visuals, right? So yeah, and that's beautiful old school sci-fi. I mean, I don't know if I've ever really watched that many movies from this sort of era. Like I've watched
Hmm.
some 60s sci-fi, but like 50s sci-fi is really old school, right? Like
Yeah.
I was trying to think of other things that I've watched. Maybe one or two like black and white things, but not very seriously and when I was really young. So this was a treat for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't brushed up on my kind of history of culture, with this.
Yeah.
But when we think of sci-fi, I think our minds jump to space and aliens and going out there into different galaxies or whatever.
Yeah.
And the 50s is probably where that started, right? With the interest in the space race and the birth of the atomic age.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think before that, the most out there stuff is probably Lovecraft. I would guess. I would venture a
Probably, yeah,
guess, but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
more of sci-fi of the mind. Um,
Probably, yeah. I mean, I suppose you kind of had Jules Verne and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's
That's
his name,
probably
H.
it.
G. Wells.
Yeah.
Um, but even there, that was sort of that's even more old school, right? That's almost
Hmm.
like steampunk-ish, which is
Yeah.
I mean, brings me to this is sort of one of my favorite aesthetics in sci-fi, sometimes called ray punk or ray gun gothic, which is I think very important for where this film is it's sci-fi before actual space travel. So this was
Oh,
1956,
I like
right?
that. Yeah.
Sputnik 1 is 1957. So
Right.
this was 1 year before Sputnik even went up, all right? No one had ever left Earth's atmosphere by the time they released this film. So this is like completely in the dark, right? They're doing everything here, not knowing what actual space travel is like, even unmanned space travel, right? Like
Yeah.
Star Trek, was already when people were going up in the Gemini missions and stuff.
Hmm.
Whereas this is before that. So this is completely in the dark with how actual space travel works, which I really love that because I think they did it fantastically, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
not knowing how space travel works, um, you wouldn't really guess that just by watching it.
Yeah. And I think we both saw in our little research the kind of firsts that this film had.
Yes.
When we're talking about space travel, I think this is the first one to venture beyond the solar system in terms of human exploration of space.
So I was reading that as well, and the important thing is it's the first film to do it because I
Right.
think
Okay.
there were books because obviously I'm sure maybe H.G. Wells did it, but I think I mentioned it on a previous episode, Skylark of Space.
Hmm. Yeah, you
That
did.
was
Yeah.
in like that was in like 1913 or something, right? It was like really long ago. So these concepts had been done before, but I think this was the first time you ever see it on screen.
Yeah.
So it's the first time it's actually shown, actually imagined. Um, so yeah, there were several sort of points in the film where I'm like, oh well, we've kind of seen this in sci-fi before,
Yeah,
and then
but
you realize, oh no, but hang on, no, this is the cliche, right? Like this is where it all comes from,
this is it's like when you show people Dune, the new Dune films, and
right?
then they say, "Oh, this reminds me of Star Wars quite a bit." And I'm like, well, actually, let me tell you a
Yes.
story.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah, and I mean, I read a little bit as well about how this sort of directly inspired some Star Trek
I could not
designs
get away
and
from that thought. This is such a Star
absolutely.
Trek episode, right?
It literally is, right? I
Yeah,
mean, everything is Star Trek original series about this. I mean, right down
totally.
to the even sort of the you've got the commander and his crew, and he's making announcements, and they're landing on the planet,
Yeah, we
and
need to go
it's
check up on a
all
research outpost. Yeah,
exactly.
totally. Yeah,
So, and I mean, it's what it's 10 years before, right? Star Trek was
yeah,
66
yeah. Officially 66.
officially, right?
The
Right. Yeah.
cage
Yeah.
was 65, of course. But yeah,
Oh right, oh
yeah,
right, yeah, yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, so you definitely watching it again. I was like, oh, well, this is just like Star Trek, but other way
yeah.
around, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I did see its first depiction as well of a human-built, faster than light traveling spaceship
Yeah,
on screen.
and not much
So
more
that's
is
really
said about
interesting.
it than that, right? In the opening,
Yeah, yeah. I've
there's
tried.
no
I've tried
how
to.
or yeah,
No, I've tried to figure some stuff out, but yeah, nothing much in the
yeah.
actual film. Yeah,
So it's just the idea of just accelerating far, enough to get, yeah,
pretty
you
much. I
just
mean,
keep accelerating.
because I don't think they actually mention it in the film because I've seen it in like stuff that I've read. I think it was in the script or whatever. They call it a quanto gravitatic hyperdrive, which is complete nonsense. That
Yeah,
doesn't
would
mean
have
anything.
odds were on for that. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. I mean, gravitatic. I've got no idea what that means, but it gets me thinking because I'm like, ooh, what does that mean? Quantogravitatic. I mean, one of the frontiers in modern day science is trying to um, harmonize or bring together quantum mechanics and general relativity, which is gravity.
Yeah.
So quantogravitatic to me suggests that they've now done this, right? They've brought together quantum mechanics and gravity, and through that, they're able to manipulate space-time.
Were they thinking
How?
about that in the 50s, that there was a
Oh, that's a good
reconciliation
point.
needed?
That's a good point.
I'm just wondering, was science aware of uh, this bridge that needed
I
to
didn't
be?
even think of, that's a great point. Probably, but not. It wouldn't have been the. Probably wouldn't have been the ultimate question in science just yet.
Right.
It was still it would have still definitely been a thing of these two, there's quantum mechanics and there's gravity being developed, and surely if at some stage they'll come together. They didn't imagine that in what's it 60, 70 years or whatever we still haven't managed it. They would have probably thought that we would do it in the next decade or so.
But it's not that you can't just, it's not manageable. It's that they contradict each other. Am I right? There are
Exactly,
things that
yes.
don't reconcile. Yeah.
Exactly. So the sort of current thinking is that one has to give way to the other. Most people think that so in a similar sense to how Newtonian mechanics is not wrong, it's just not complete, right?
Yeah.
So it describes what we see. And so a lot of people think that maybe general relativity is describing what we actually see, but the underlying mechanism is quantum mechanical. So many people think that general relativity has to give way to quantum mechanics eventually. I tend to be of the other persuasion that general relativity might actually be an entirely separate thing that cannot be explained with quantum mechanics, but that's just complete speculation, and I'm probably wrong.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll come back to it, 20 years down the road when we're on episode, 5,000. So we can see,
Exactly.
we can update
Yeah,
our reactions to
exactly.
that. Was that it for the firsts of this film? Uh,
I mean, the only other thing I saw is that it was the first depiction of a robot as being a
oh,
character of some sort,
right.
whereas previously they were like sort of just machines. I would assume, right?
But
Um,
I immediately think of Metropolis as
oh,
a counterpoint to that because, God,
right.
it's been a while since I've seen that. But
Yeah, same.
the mechanical woman,
Yeah, no, exactly. I
um,
reckon that's because Metropolis is what 1927 or something.
27. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a
Yonks
good
before.
point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe just to kind of elaborate on my reactions on the film. Robbie did not do it for me. Uh,
Me neither, hey?
I think we're just too far ahead
Yeah.
of it
I kept
to
expecting
appreciate.
something from him, right? Like I kept
Yeah, yeah.
like either
Like he
he's going to be a
turns.
hero or he's going to like be the villain, right? Like was expecting something from him.
Well, he does play a role in the end, which we'll get to.
Yeah, I
Pretty
suppose,
key,
but like
yeah, moment there. But
I was expecting him to be more front and center, whereas he was just sort of there to give it a sci-fi feel, I suppose.
well, to show how advanced Doctor Morbius is, right? That's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I
um,
suppose. Yeah.
yeah. But as for more about, I guess, the cultural context at the time.
Mm,
So as we know, the 50s is the atomic age. It's the early days of the space race, and it's nuclear anxiety, right?
right.
And
Yes.
I think these things are reflected. We're going to get into it when we talk about the film, but these are things that are reflected quite well, I think, thematically. Um, there's also, specifically from an American perspective, I think in this time, I'm not sure if I have my years right, but McCarthyism, right? So the idea of
Oof.
the enemy from within
Okay.
is quite prevalent. Like your neighbor could be a communist, your milkman could be a
Right.
communist, the postman could be a
Right.
communist. You don't know they look like us, right?
Yeah.
Which that's the whole basis of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, of course.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, culturally, this is a perfect is not a nice word to use here, but a perfect representation of, I think, gender dynamics and roles.
Yes.
Not that the roles are perfect, but the representation is, and
Yes.
um, it's awkward. Doesn't feel comfortable to watch, I think, but it is a as a cultural artifact. It is something that you have to engage with, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I think, because when you watch original series Star Trek, there is already like, even though it's Star Trek, which we all know is ahead of its time and liberal and all of that.
Yeah,
Well, most of us know. Um, but, whereas I think I think we're watching this, you realize that they're not actively fighting against the stereotypes of the day, right? Whereas Star Trek, they, even if they some stereotypes they lean in, they just can't imagine any different, right? Like, yeah, of course, it's a white male in charge of the Starship Enterprise,
yeah,
of course. Whereas there are others where they try and imagine a future where things are different. Whereas here, I think they're not doing that, right? It's just like, well, this is the way the world is,
yeah. It's
and
upholding
it's
everything.
it's it's how it's going to be forever.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think that's what's uncomfortable about it, for me at least, is there's no active attempt to try and undermine those stereotypes of the current age.
yeah, and I think I might be wrong about this, but coming out of a war not so long ago, and even I think the Korean War is something that's happening at this time.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so, I think of 50s America, especially like white America, is quite strict and rules based and hierarchical,
Yeah.
kind of militaristic, and uh, this film is not doing anything to move away from that, right? And
No.
and um, you could say that the villain, quote unquote, of the film is Doctor Morbius, who is representing intelligence and independence and kind of
Right.
forward thinkingness,
Yeah.
thinkingness, but yeah, the forward thinking of
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
not liberal mindedness, but definitely of intellectual society, I
Yes,
think.
intellectualism, I suppose.
Yeah,
Whereas yeah, it's definitely like, oh, there's this eccentric genius, and we, the military, are
yeah,
going to show up and show him what needs
yeah,
to be done. Right? I've got my orders. Doesn't matter what you want. Like,
exactly,
you're coming with
exactly.
me. Yeah.
Obviously, it is a militaristic organization, uh, that is front and center in this film.
Mm, mm,
Um, yeah, I think that's that for kind of cultural context, I suppose.
yeah.
Um, and I had a question, a kind of that I
Okay.
put in our notes, an open question for both of us to think about. I was thinking about this all week, coming into this, which
Okay.
is, why do we love the old school special effects so much? Because let's compare Star Trek Strange New Worlds to Star Trek the
Mm,
original series, right? It's the same era, same technology that they have,
right.
in the story world. One is depicted with a lot of digital effects and kind of pristine, modern day special effects, and the
Mm,
other is objectively quite dated, uh, clumsy in parts. But I think you and I would actively argue that Strange New Worlds needs to look more like the old one and not
yeah.
the other way around.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
Um, and I genuinely wonder why this is. Why do we respond to this? You and I specifically,
Mm,
so strongly. And my first thought was, okay, maybe there is a bit of survivorship bias going on here.
right.
Stuff that has good effects is going to age well, and no one's going to go back and rewatch all the junk.
Yes.
So
Of course. Yeah.
this is probably top of the range stuff for the time.
Right. Well, I
Um,
mean, that being said, I mean, I haven't watched too much of the early Doctor Who episodes, but
that might change your
I
mind.
think that can be classified as junk sometimes, right?
Yeah, but you could even think of the contrast of practical analog Star Wars to the
Yes.
prequels, and then maybe the happy medium of the sequel trilogy, just in terms of effects.
Yeah.
But again, in that context, I'm taking uh, stuff on wires, all day long,
Completely. I
from the
mean,
original trilogy.
the matte paintings in this. I mean, I'm assuming that's what they are, right? Most
Yeah,
of
yeah, of course. Yeah,
the
yeah,
sort of background paintings, background scenes are matte paintings, and I mean, yeah, I don't know what it is, but somehow to me that almost looks more realistic than if you've got this complete digital background. I can. It seems to have like more of a sense of depth and almost like you can walk into it, right? Whereas if it's a
yeah.
digital background, it's like, oh well, that's a digital background.
I
Um,
often try with matte paintings to try find the little boundary, right? And you
well,
actually you struggle to do so
you
often.
struggle to. There might have been a scene. In fact, I think it's in your background
Hmm.
of that underground shot. There might have been a point where I could see the edge because there might have been a change in lighting,
Oh,
sort of
right.
between the where they're walking and one of the side paths that go off. But
Yeah,
even then, it's because I'm looking for it, right? I'm looking for it. I'm like, is that it? Is that where the matte painting begins and where the set
yeah.
ends or not? Um, but yeah, I mean, it's fantastic
I would
effects.
I wouldn't go so far as say realistic or more realistic, but
Okay.
I think it's more evocative, right? And I think that's the
Yes.
consequence of having a person sit there for hours and reckon with the art that they're making, right? They're going to put thought into it. It's
Right.
going to be very careful instead of you know much less time spent at a computer um,
That's actually a really good point.
chasing
Yeah.
photorealism, right? Instead of like
Yes.
um, you know you're pursuing a realistic image instead of like no, let's make an image that makes you feel something.
That's a really good point because
So I
I
think that
suppose,
yeah, that's a part of the equation, right?
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, the digital background is sort of to make you not think about it, right? It's sort of to you're in the world. There's a digital background, and you don't think about the digital background. Whereas here, I mean, I was constantly looking at the background because I'm like, oh wow, look at that
Yeah,
artwork,
exactly. Yeah,
right? Like so, it's drawing your attention to the background rather than trying to get you to forget about it and immerse you in the scene. So
yeah.
yeah, no, I think that's a brilliant point.
Um, and then I had a thought just about the kind of handmade quality of everything, and
Mm.
my mind specifically went to Star Wars with the all the spaceships flying around and having battles and stuff. And I think maybe there's something about that. This is like the kind of childlike. I'm playing with my toys. Um, just imagination in my head, and it's sitting on the living room floor, but like taken to the extreme, right? Because
Right. Yes.
it's toys, physical objects in
Right.
with the imagination like fully expanded before you.
Yeah, you
Uh,
can like imagine yourself there doing it.
yeah, so I was thinking maybe
Yeah.
there's something to that,
Yeah.
and um, but then you think about the Avatar films. That's
Right.
just completely mind-boggling and like beautiful and stunning. So
Yes.
it's not one over the other, but
No, yeah, as you say, I mean, there isn't really an answer. You don't know why you watch this film and love the way that it looks. You just do, right? You watch it and
yeah,
you're like, oh, this is why can't they
exactly.
make them
Yeah,
like this anymore? But I mean, if they made them like this, if someone released something like this today, you'd be like, whoa,
it'd be a
low
flop. Yeah,
budget, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So um, yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about technologically what this film is doing, right? So it's
Mm.
presented in CinemaScope. Um,
Yes, which I'm hoping you can tell me more about
yeah,
because it's obviously a term that I've sort of heard, but
yeah,
it's they sort of present it in the credits as something like da 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 da
yeah.
CinemaScope, and so what exactly is that?
So in the 50s, the state of cinema I think rhymes a lot with what we have now, which is um, in the 50s, TVs are becoming commonplace in the home. So people
Okay,
aren't going out to see movies and as entertainment. So ticket sales are way down at this time, like they are now, because now we have the streamers and
yeah,
convenience and prices are driving you out of the cinema, right? I don't have the stats available to me, but compared if you compare the average American in the 40s and 50s. Like the graph just plummets, right?
Okay.
So um, they had to think about ways to get people into the cinema, and CinemaScope was a way to do that, right? So CinemaScope
Mm.
allows you to present widescreen,
Okay.
like super widescreen, right? So
Right. Right.
and you think of those old box TVs, right? It's like you have to come to the cinema to see this in its full
Right.
presentation, get all the image that you can. This
Yeah.
larger than life thing. Also thematically, they were going for fantastical things, science fiction and historical epics like Ben Hur and Cleopatra, or biblical epics like the Ten Commandments, right? So these are
Yes.
event things that you have to go see in a cinema, and it's very much like IMAX,
I was
right?
about to say it's like
It's
IMAX. I
yeah,
mean,
it's
with
premium
Project Hail
format.
Mary, right? It's
Yeah,
like this is an IMAX. It's the only film or one of the only films ever shot entirely on IMAX and everything. You've got
yeah,
to see it in the format that it's supposed to be seen. So yeah,
yeah.
okay, it's definitely reminiscent of
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, when the Dune films came out, like I traveled hours to go to an IMAX to see them. Right,
Okay. Yeah.
so it was a similar thing at the time, and
Yeah.
just a little
Yeah, because
nerding out.
you know that you've got to. It's like this is a limited time
Yes,
opportunity,
exactly.
and you have to now go and actually see it in the
And
cinema.
if you miss it, your experience will be severely diminished. Right.
Yes. Right.
So it's
Okay.
premium formats, high ticket prices. You might look
Yeah.
at box office now and think, "Oh, Avatar is making so much money," but actually, ticket sales are way down. Like just
Okay.
uh,
Right.
butts and seats is just way down compared to like 10
Hectic.
years ago. Um, but CinemaScope was a technology invented by MGM Studios, I believe it was, and it's an anamorphic lens. So it's just it's a lens that's shaped like an oval that you put
Okay.
over the front lens, and it just widens the sensor, right? So you get these
Oh.
beautiful distortions on the side. If you think of like maybe in the 90s film that's widescreen, if you
Yeah.
think of like maybe when they shift focus or something, there's like a kind of snapping effect or warping effect.
Okay. Yeah.
You can look out for that. Um, but it was a
Wow.
lens that achieved this. And today it's mostly matting. So they film with a normal ratio and then block out the top and bottom to get widescreen.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's you're getting more. And then if you actually look at the film reel, it's like a complete, like a squashed image like that. And then it's run through a projector that has another anamorphic lens, and then it's spread out
Oh,
again.
seriously? Wow,
Yeah,
that's fascinating. Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Um, so
I mean,
I like that.
they don't do that anymore, right? Like you wouldn't be able to
No,
go and see this.
it is an option. It's just less.
Seriously?
The
Wow.
other option is, you have the other option available, which is to crop it out.
Right. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
that they did that is widescreen TVs, like your standard 16:9. They knew that was coming, in the 90s and stuff.
Okay.
So they started filming the full image, cropping it
Yeah.
out for a cinema release, but then they could release the full one for
Right. I suppose you've got.
broadcast TV,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that
You've
you
got
could
more
protect.
flexibility then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so if you're interested, I think all the Harry Potter films were matted, so they were
Okay.
cropped. So if you can look up online, you can find a comparison of matted and open matte, what they call it, with the full ratio.
Whoa.
If you're
Okay.
just interested in like the nerdiness of
Yeah, well,
cinematography,
I
I
mean,
guess.
I mean, imagine going and watching this film somewhere where they can show it in CinemaScope. I mean, my
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
goodness, I would sell my soul.
I think there is a cinema in Germany that does has a
Oh,
CinemaScope
don't tell me
festival.
this, man.
There's a CinemaScope. Yeah, I believe there is
Okay.
one.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, so we're watching at home on our little TVs or whatever, or
Yeah.
laptops, whatever. But you have to imagine that you're sitting there close to the screen, and the edges of the screen are like almost in the
Yeah.
periphery of your vision,
Right.
right? So it's consuming your whole um, you know visual space, um, which is why the epic, right, the sci-fi epic or the historical epic lends itself so well to the format, and why it was such a
Yeah.
big thing in the 50s.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I can imagine as if you've never seen anything like this on screen. In 1956, you've never seen humans going in space on a ship and everything.
Yeah, it'd be
Suddenly seeing it
dazzling. Yeah,
in that, yeah, it must be. I mean, it must be life altering. I would say.
yeah, yeah. But about that, I think the film. didn't do crazy numbers box office wise. Made
Oh, okay.
a small profit. Um, there was a thing on Wikipedia about they had to edit out the monster to because children were scared, and I always have a little bit of
Oh, wow.
skepticism about those stories because they kind of I feel like they snowball a little bit, right?
Yes, yeah,
Um,
probably.
so I think this is something that it kind of built up its reputation over the years.
Right, yeah.
Through film history, film
Okay.
historians
Yeah.
bring it up in that. Yeah, why don't we get into the film itself?
Let's do
Um,
so.
and of course, so watching the credits, of course, I'm like, oh, Leslie Nielsen, right? And I
Yeah.
had another moment of seeing the Walt Disney Productions as a lent an animator to this film, right? And they're kind of
Okay.
thanked in the credits. So
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
huh. I had a huh moment when I saw that.
Right, yeah.
Um, but it's space and a flying saucer comes zooming in, a little narration setting the scene, right? Um,
Yes, and I mean, very interesting. I think it was like one of the first lines. It said something like, "In the final decade of the 21st century, man lands on the moon."
yes.
And
Oh,
I
was
mean,
that?
yeah, that was like one of the first. That was one of the first lines of the film, and I mean, less than 5 years later, Kennedy announces the moon program, right? And then in 1969, they actually land on the moon. So these guys were out by more than a century, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, this is so far in the future, you can't even imagine it. Like, just imagine some future where man is landing on the moon, and then 15 years later, they're actually doing it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. I think that's fantastic.
Just as an aside, with Artemis this week, I've had the Kennedy speech in my head, like kind of like a vocal stim, just on repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
Not because it is easy, but because it is
Because it
hard.
is hard. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Um, yeah, and we're introduced to the red shirts, as you say,
Yeah, yeah.
led by Captain John J. Adams, like crying out loud. It's Leslie Nielsen. You're going to give me a
Yes.
choice between Leslie Nielsen and John J. Adams. I thought that
Yeah,
was
absolutely. No, yeah.
yeah. And
It's
their
Leslie Nielsen.
yeah, their assignment is to go to, I believe the planet is Altair 4.
Yes.
Um, I like that their ship doesn't have a name, but it just has a kind of designation.
Yes, yeah, it
Uh,
was C-57 or something like that.
yeah,
Hey, yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're going to follow up on a research mission. A ship was sent called the Bellerophon to this world to study it. I think I wasn't
Yeah.
quite, but it's been a while, and they're going to go check
Something
out.
like
Right?
that. But I mean, it immediately is reminiscent of The Cage, right? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that how it starts? It's also like Captain Pike is going to find the survivors of some crash or something. Isn't it like that?
Oof. I mean,
Because then they.
I only remember the cage through the Spock trial
Oh,
episode. Right?
right,
I don't
right.
think I
No,
have the full
I mean,
details of
I
it.
think it's like that because they land and they find all these survivors, and it turns out that all those survivors are actually um, the hallucinations that are
Oh yeah,
being
yeah,
presented to them, and
from
it's
the
only one of them.
brain
The
aliens. Yeah,
exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's very similar to that.
yeah, and I love this kind of setup. We're
Yeah,
gonna go check
same.
on something, and then you get there and something bad has happened. Uh, but they're coming, they're slowing down, right? So it's like point 0.9 something speed of light. They're slowing
Yeah,
down, getting to the planet, and um, I believe they receive a transmission from Doctor Morbius. Right, that's it, and
yes,
it is very severe warnings. Do not come here. Right,
yeah,
everything's fine. Please do not land here. You
yeah,
do not want to do that. And of course, like you said, we have our orders. The militaristic society.
yeah,
We got to land. So I think the landing is that's when you see the vista of the planets. This beautiful
yes,
uh,
yes.
background matte painting, and I love the little wisp of dust in the distance as as Robbie comes in.
Yeah, it's like, who is this maniac? He must be driving a.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, so they've landed, and Robbie the robot has uh, come to welcome them. And yeah, like the design is not, it doesn't work for me. Like I think even then you can do a little bit more with the design,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
than to put an actor in a really like immobile suit, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you see, I don't know. I quite enjoyed the design, but I was just, I suppose I was thinking, I was expecting him to be Hull from 2001, right? I
Oh,
was
right. So
expecting, uh, like him to
in
just
that
suddenly
sense, yeah,
turn on everyone because they then at a later stage show that he's got this strict programming, and that he can't harm himself or he'll do anything to himself, but he won't
yeah.
harm you or anything. I was expecting this sort of thing. It's a classic Asimov's laws type of thing where
Yeah,
it's like he can't harm a human, he can't do this, blah blah blah, and at some stage it all comes together, and he just ends up doing something which we as humans consider evil, and for him it's just logical. Like I
yeah,
was expecting something like that, I think, and so I quite enjoyed the physical design of him, but I was let down by his role in the film. I just thought
yeah.
that he was didn't really do much.
And you can see the kind of limitations of, I guess, ideas of computing at the time, or like even just imagination, because
Yeah.
they ask him a question, then he's like, and you just hear like the clicking, I guess, of it. It reminds me of like kind of magnetic tapes that they would have used at the time, or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then like a few seconds later, then he gives a response, a dry response or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
um when of course, right, it would be an instantaneous reply, or you know
Yeah.
um but it's, I guess it's sufficiently charming, right? It's not going to
Exactly. I mean,
derail.
it's definitely old school sci-fi aesthetic, right? You see this and you're like, ah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's his highest value for me, is that like, oh yeah, watching a 1950s sci-fi film, there's got to be a robot like this, like.
yeah. And I guess it's always fun of like, okay, how's the robot going to look, or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
um and they are whisked away to go and meet Dr. Morbius at his house. And um I'm not sure. I'm not exactly clear on how it was presented that there are no survivors or something. When was that the
I
reason
think
they
it
were
was.
there? Or
So no, I think they were hoping there was going to be survivors, but then I think when they got to Morbius's house,
then he
he
explained,
explained that no, there were survivors, but they were all killed at some stage,
yeah,
and that
by
he was immune to whatever killed them.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
I was, so in that explanation, I was quite, I didn't know where I was going to go. I was quite
No, the same.
yeah, excited by that. I was like, okay, wait, I've seen this on Star Trek. Come on,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
trying to
Yeah,
imagine it. Okay,
yeah.
is it just a monster, or whatever?
You see, that's why what I think I kept thinking that the robot, what's his name, Robbie. Um,
It's not that hard.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Robbie. Robbie. I thought he was gonna somehow. He's the actual person, and I was sort of thinking like, I don't know, Doctor Morbius is actually the servant of Robbie or something like
Oh,
that.
right.
I was thinking like Robbie's gonna be our main guy, and Doctor Morbius is just who we assume, and we brushing Robbie off as the butler, right?
Yeah,
So that's sort of what I was thinking. Okay, whoever killed the survivors was, I think it was Robbie. I was the whole time I was like, no, this guy's he's gonna flip at some stage. He's gonna break.
I think I was more in the sentient gas cloud school of thought,
Ah,
where it was like, okay, there's something advanced, way advanced,
right.
that
Yes.
we can't understand, that's out there, right? Like it is an existing species or whatever on this planet,
Yeah.
and we're not supposed to mess with it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you see, all of these. I know there's Star Trek episodes definitely like that, right?
yeah,
Where
yeah.
they go to some planet and there's something. I think it's similar to like when
Sorry, what a description of Star Trek. There's some planets and there's
they go to
something,
some planet, there's something,
and they do a
and
thing, and
Kirk bags the lady at the end, right?
yeah,
So
Jim, this man is a doctor. This,
he's dead, Jim. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and it's at this point where introduced to uh, Altera, Alta,
Mm.
the young daughter of Doctor Morbius, who I believe was born on the planet, right? Yeah, she must have been. It makes sense for what we know later
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
right?
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just tough. Like when she shows up in a mini skirt, and then all the
Yeah.
guys on the ship are like, "Man, I've been on that spacecraft for 300 days. It's
I'm
nice to
like,
see a pretty
Chainsaw
face."
Man, get yourself together, man. Because I mean, as soon as she comes around the corner, they're all like, oh, like they're all completely
Yeah,
changed, and they're all like, well, let me get you a drink, and I'm
and
like, geez,
she's
like,
not like a character of any depth
no,
you
no,
know
absolutely not.
or you know having any influence over the plots in any
Yeah,
active way. Or um, it is just tough, right? I mean,
it is.
I used to kind of try to do the mental gymnastics of Star Trek when I first watched it as when I was very
Right.
young, and yeah, it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's difficult because yeah, as we've said, I mean, with Star Trek, you can kind of overlook it, and you forgive it because you realize that Star Trek was trying with other things, and they sometimes failed with the gender thing, right? But here,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, no, but guys, come on.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a bit challenging.
and um, I think there was another interesting little tidbit, right, to hang on to the scene was that the
Mm,
idea of Morbius and Altera being immune in some way, right? The thing that's out there uh,
yes, yeah.
left us alone, um, and
And they were immediately suspicious as well, right? Leslie Nielsen and the boys. They
yeah,
were like, "But why are you immune? Like why
yeah,
did
yeah,
everyone else die except you?"
and um, Morbius is like, okay, you need to leave now. I'm gonna help you leave, and then Leslie Nielsen is like, no, he's doing the Captain Kirk thing. We have to stay and investigate, right? And get the girl, of course.
Yeah, yes,
Um, and I think it's here that we do the kind of the I was thinking of RoboCop, right, with Robbie,
mm,
where it's like you give me two contradictory orders and then you short circuits, right?
yes, yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is another thing that's in Star Trek, for crying out loud. There was that one episode where uh, the two planets that were warring, and they just had their battles on a computer simulation.
Right, yes, yes, I remember that.
And instead of doing actual battles, they just sent assigned people to death booths, right?
Yes,
And
yeah.
then Captain Kirk gave it a
Oh, that's
paradox.
right.
It
Yes,
presented the computer with a paradox, and then it just burst into flames, right?
yes, that's
And
right.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that's how it works.
yeah. Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's why it felt like a whole lot of Star Trek themes were in this movie. So I mean, Roddenberry must have been like watching this over and over again. Like, oh, okay, now I'm going to use that. Now I'm going to use
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, and what's up with the animals again? Um,
Yeah, I didn't quite get that part, if I'm honest. So they mention at some stage that the Krell, right, which is the civilization that we learn
yeah.
was on this planet, brought these animals back.
Oh, okay.
That they went on their own Star Treks and obviously
Hmm.
went to Earth at
Yeah,
some stage and brought these animals back. But I didn't quite understand why. I didn't quite understand the whole thing with the tiger, why it liked Alpha and then at some stage also turns on her.
yeah. Because this
Um,
is
didn't really get that.
yeah. I mean, it's relating in some way. I guess maybe the tiger was going after Leslie Nielsen in that scene.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, but there are animals around and they're
yeah.
tame
There's
and
animals and she's doing a whole Snow White thing, right?
yeah. Um, yeah. But so Doctor Morbius says, "I'm going to give you the required materials to build a powerful enough transmitter so you can get your orders from Earth, and then get out of here, right? They can't leave without
Yeah.
getting their orders, right? And that night, as as they're trying to build it, there's sabotage, right?
Sabotage. Yeah, exactly.
Um, what happened again? I watched this
You
like
see,
2 days. I watched this like 2 days ago, and like the actual mechanics of the plots
well, you
are a
see,
little lost on me.
because I think the first one, because this thing enters the ship, I think twice.
Yes, but
Um,
there's sabotage, and then it kills a crewman, right?
oh right, yes, yes, exactly. Because the sabotage, I think they say they hear breathing. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There's like this deep breathing, and somehow, because now the creature is able to enter the ship without making footprints or bending the steps, which it does later, but it somehow manages to get in, and sabotages something.
yeah.
Because I
I
mean,
remember now that they were holding like some kind of copper thing that was all messed up. The
exactly,
wires
yeah,
were all
yeah,
skew, and
yeah. And
um,
they obviously don't know at this point that this creature is invisible. That's why
yeah,
it's,
yeah,
because then Leslie Nielsen, Commander Leslie Nielsen, whatever his name is, Adams,
yeah.
um, decides to discipline the crew members because, like, oh, you all clearly weren't watching. This guy slipped right past you.
Yeah, I mean, like
Doesn't realize that it's
once once one of the crewmen said, "Oh, I hear breathing," I was like, "Okay, invisible monster." You know, I was kind
yeah,
of
yeah, exactly,
you were
yeah,
right
yeah, yeah,
there, right? You knew straight away.
yeah,
Um, but so you have the next day after the sabotage, and uh, this is after Leslie Nielsen has kind of reprimanded Alta for wearing skimpy clothing, right?
yeah.
You know, instead of going after the guy for preying on her or whatever, and
Yes, completely.
she's swimming in the buff, and he's totally awkward about it, and then she puts on a dress. Oh, I made
Yeah,
it. Do you like it? And um, it's another it's another thing that completely falls flat on its face. There's no
yeah.
at no point do I believe in this romance or that these
No,
people have any
no.
chemistry whatsoever.
Absolutely. Although, I mean, it must be said that at least Leslie Nielsen knows how to kiss the poor woman. Because I mean, the first guy, he was like, "Oh, let me just try again." She was literally like, "I feel absolutely nothing when you do that,"
And
and
then
he was
he's
like,
like, no, but it's good
"I'll
for
try again."
stimulation.
Yeah.
It's not even you're not even trying to do it like, oh, do you like me? If you like me, we should do this. But it's just like,
Yeah,
no, come here. This is good for
yeah.
you. This is
Just
good
keep doing it, and eventually
tonic.
you'll like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, really tough.
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
and uh, this is when the tiger incident happens, right? The tiger leaps,
Yes.
and Adams, Leslie Nielsen is forced to blast it away. Wonderful effect, I thought, the kind of streak, kind
Oh,
of
right. Yeah,
comet-like
absolutely.
streak that it
Yeah.
left behind. And I believe it's here where Morbius is decides to explain
Yes.
exactly what's going on. Not exactly, but more or less what's going on this planet. So
Yeah.
this planet was the home of the Krell, who were so advanced, and they left behind this subterranean, um, thermonuclear supercomputer
Yeah.
complex
Which,
thing, right?
I mean, I don't really. They never quite explain what it is, right? They're just like there's this massive, giant underground thing with lots of energy and power and everything, but they never say, "Oh no, it's harnessing the planet's energy or whatever." They're just like there's this huge thing,
But it is,
and
it is the machine is just pure creation, right? That was the whole thing is the creation machine, right? And
okay,
it was the pinnacle of their science,
right,
right? And it wiped them out,
yes,
right? So this here you can relate back to the atomic age anxiety
yes, yeah,
of
absolutely,
especially in the kind of general public consciousness, right? You've just ended a war by dropping atomic bombs, and now, sorry, what
yeah,
we're gonna use it for energy, and the
right,
Ruskies have it as well, and they can just send it at any time,
yeah,
right? So it's like it's this uh, an idea of like the absolute limits of what we can do. Maybe there is a frontier of science that,
Mm.
if we push past, we're not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah. No, I mean it got me thinking. I mean, we spoke about in our episode about contact, we spoke about the Fermi paradox, and I think I mentioned a concept called the Great Barrier, which is
Yes,
a
I
sort
was
of a
thinking of this.
concept
Yeah.
which, yeah, a concept that there's the reason we don't detect civilizations out there is because there is a certain point at every civilization's development where you either make it past this barrier or you don't. And a lot of people assume that atomic energy is that barrier. The more pessimistic amongst us say that we haven't yet gotten to that barrier.
Feels like we're in the kind of crux point.
I would
Personally,
say, right? Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it got me thinking of also the what's it called, the Kardashev scale of civilizations.
right? Yeah.
So I'm sure you've heard of it, where you have like a Type One civilization which is able to harness the entirety of energy that their planet has. And then
Okay.
type 2 can harness the entirety of the energy in their solar system. Type 3 harnesses all the energy in the galaxy. So from what I was seeing is like, okay, this thing is, he says it exists underneath the planet's ground and exists everywhere. I think the Krell were a type 1 civilization, so uh, harnessing the entirety of the energy of their planet. Definitely more than us. I think we're about zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.7, and that's optimistic. But yeah, so it definitely suggests that, right, once you get to a type 1 civilization, there is a great barrier which beyond which few civilizations progress. So
Right.
there was something that, like, no, now you've got the energy of your planet, and most civilizations can't handle it.
Right. And there's some there's also some neat stuff in here where um, it's giving you stuff that's kind of nearly impossible, right?
Right.
The door that has a material that doesn't retain any heat from this super
Yes.
blaster and stuff, kind of reminding me of Project Hail Mary with the Xenonite,
Right.
where it's like,
Yes.
you know, like, okay, I don't even, you're showing me something I can't even comprehend, right? That might be ordinary to you.
Yeah.
The great science fiction device of showing advancement or alienness, right?
Yeah.
And just another beautiful um, design um, of this super machine, right? That this kind of has
Yes.
endless depth, right?
Yeah.
And the way it plays with I guess perspective and depth again,
Yeah.
just amazing stuff. Expressing scale uh, with such a simple thing, right?
No,
Where
completely.
it's you see a lot of films now even struggling to do that, right?
Yeah.
So
Completely.
I love this whole thing, and um, then I believe Morbius explains that there's like a kind of school children
Yes.
teaching machine. It was like for the level of like a 7-year old
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, and it's like too much for the human mind to handle. He was unconscious for days after using it or something. And
Yeah.
um, this is another one of my favorite things. It's like uh, showing us something so vast and unknowable that it's almost
Yeah.
dangerous, or even another way that we see it done is something so vast and powerful and terrifying that it actually informs superstition and religion. All right.
Right.
And we've seen
Right.
Doctor Who do that with the
Yes.
devil, right? That's one of the best ones.
Yes. One of the best ones. Yeah. Satan
Yeah,
pit. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a sucker for a vast, unknowable alien knowledge, right?
No, I mean, I
it's
also,
it's too much for us, right? I love it.
yeah, I'm also such a fan when they don't show the aliens, right? Because obviously,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
you can, like, sure, we want to see aliens sometimes, but I think it's so much more mysterious when you don't see the aliens. Like, there were these aliens, and I mean, something that I loved as well was he was like, we've got no idea what they look like, but look at the archways that they made. That suggests their form, right? Because you don't really think about how our doorways are human shaped, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
they are, right? So there's this whole mystery behind them. It's like, look how clever they were. Look how he literally says like I was a moron by their standards,
Yeah. Yeah.
because this is what something a 7-year-old could have done for them. So they're these hyper intelligent, strangely shaped beings, but you never see them. They destroyed themselves. So I love that mystery behind them.
And I think showing the aliens would have taken a lot of air out of the balloon. I suppose I think
Yeah,
it would have been a little deflating. Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
and this is also the explanation of how Morbius is able to build Robbie. Right, he gets a little kind of
Yes.
intelligence boost, and he's able to understand like a fraction of a percent of the theoretical
Yeah.
knowledge that the Krell have left behind. Right, this is all fantastic stuff. I
Absolutely.
can only imagine what a actual astrophysicist would do with those papers. Right, how
Yeah,
exciting
no,
that would be.
exactly, exactly. I mean, yeah,
Dark
definitely.
matter, dark
I was
energy
definitely like,
explained.
oh, imagine what they've figured out. Yeah,
Yeah,
but then he takes a very sort of moral high ground approach. He's like, no, I'm going to go through these um, discoveries with my expanded mind and
yeah,
decide what humanity is allowed to get or not.
yeah,
So he sort of takes the sort of caregiver role. He's like, I've discovered them, and only I can decide, because otherwise the same thing's going to happen to you that happened to the Krell.
yeah.
And obviously, they're not happy with that.
And there's that kind of skepticism of intellectualism, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
you're putting
yes,
yourself above
brilliant.
us, above your station, and
Yeah.
you're not sharing the goods with us, right? With the ordinary
Right. Yeah.
people.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, did you make sense of that kind of thing that was there in the back with the various lights? And I was like, this one is like
No.
10 times the one before it, or whatever.
No.
How that's related?
I mean, I think essentially what they're trying to say is it's exponential, right? I don't really understand what it was, but it was something like, it's just going to give you more and more power, and it's going to increase exponentially.
So it's like energy
Um,
output, I suppose.
Something like that. Yeah, I didn't quite understand what they were saying specifically, but it was something like, yeah, this gives energy, and every time it goes up, it's exponential. So it's 10 times
Yeah.
what was
And
was
there's
previously.
different panels, and each one is 10
Yeah,
times. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, but so that night um, is when they set up the force field around the ship,
Mm.
right? And uh, I believe that this is when this is that wonderful effects work with the
Yeah,
footprints, right?
beautiful effects.
So
Yeah,
simple. I'm sitting there not like thinking about the film and going, how did they do that, right?
yeah. I was
It's
also thinking. I mean,
it's not. I don't think it's reversed footage, or
no.
how would that work? Um,
I mean,
so
yeah, but the only thing I was thinking is it's got to be stop motion of some sort.
so
Um,
what I think, right? I have not gone
yeah.
back and looked at it or any. I was just thinking
Okay.
of how I would approach it,
Yeah.
right? So I think that there's a hole that's dug in the shape, and
Okay.
then it's covered and with like a plank or something, and then sand is put on over that, and they kind of just tug the plank away, and then it falls in
Yeah,
for
maybe.
the
I
yeah. But
suppose that's probably the simplest way of doing it. Yeah.
you know, regardless, it is a completely convincing effect, right?
Completely. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no need to do anything digital even now. Like this is
No, it was
they've nailed it,
beautiful.
right?
And then, I mean, even when it then starts stepping on the actual steps and bending the
Yeah,
steps and stuff. Oh, gorgeous.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I mean, I was, my heart was in my throat at that point. I'm like, oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, why aren't they seeing the footsteps? Like, turn around.
Yeah. Well, and that they didn't see this, it cost the life of a crewman, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Crewman red shirts or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
they're all named in the credits, and I'm not sure I heard that
Oh, they
once.
seriously, no
Yeah,
ways.
but I was looking at the credits and I was like, okay, I never heard a guy
Yeah,
called Peter or whatever.
normally it's just crewman one, crewman two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but they decide that it's time to uh, fight back on this thing, right?
Yeah.
And so this is when they have the kind of laser battle, right? I think is next
Yes,
up.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously here is the assistance of the Walt Disney Productions is in. So because
Ah,
it is a
yes.
it's a 2D
Okay.
animated effect, right? It's just your
Right.
typical hand drawn animation, and it is wonderful, brilliant, brilliant,
It's
brilliant.
gorgeous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's also, I mean, it's, we were just saying like how you never show the alien because they still did.
Hmm.
They didn't show it. They
Yeah,
just showed a little bit of an outline with like crackling and electricity and whatever, and perfect, right? I mean, I could see. I was imagining the whole thing. It was perfect. It was enough. I didn't need
yeah.
to see the rest of the creature.
But even like the effects are like they kind of give it like an uncanniness, right? Of like
Yeah,
an
absolutely. Yeah.
unrealness, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
No, it's
that
definitely like, oh my god, look at this monster, right? It's like,
yeah.
whoa. Yeah.
Um, and like design wise, it is just a big scary monster, right? It's not
Yeah.
there isn't anything exceptional going on there, but
No,
of
no.
great scale and
Exactly,
sufficiently
but it
scary.
does exactly what it needs to do. Yeah, you're like, whoa, this thing better not get through the barrier because my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a little hint here because it's when Morbius wakes up that the creature vanishes, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So
Ah,
kind of
right.
expressing the
Okay.
link
Yes.
a little bit that they have. And
Right. Okay, I didn't even get that. Yeah.
yeah. And
Because he did also say, earlier, he's like, I have a premonition that the next time it comes around, it's going to be more deadly
no,
and more
yeah,
general.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's right. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So they'd already sort of hinted it there, like, okay, why are you having these premonitions, my dude? And then, yeah, okay. Obviously, yeah, it disappears when he wakes up. Interesting.
Yeah. But this is when Leslie Nielsen and Lieutenant something something they go to the compound. Their intention is to use the what effectively is the intelligence boost device, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
to help them fight this thing or whatever. And while Leslie Nielsen is distracted by Alta, crying out loud, the other guy sneaks off and does it, right? And
Yeah.
it becomes fatal to him, but he's able to uh, give the kind of the missing piece right before he dies to his captain, and
Yeah.
the machine's purpose is to create anything by pure thought, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he says it outright, but this is, I believe, the downfall of the Krell, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think they wanted to, another theme that we've seen in Doctor Who or Star Trek or something, they wanted to leave their physical forms behind, I think.
Oh
So
yeah,
they
yeah,
sort of wanted to exist only mentally. And then they forgot to take account of the complexity of that.
yeah. And um, here comes the big reveal. It's monsters from the id,
Monsters
right?
from the id. I love the line. I mean, it's just
It is
brilliant. Right?
brilliant, and of course, just to clear that up, the id is the kind of base subconscious
Mm.
impulses that drive kind of impulsive decisions or kind of more sexual behavior. I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we could just kind of compress it, say the subconscious, right?
Yeah, the savage aspect of of the subconscious as well.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
primal savage animalistic part of the human
Yes,
mind.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the kind of mystery is solved, right?
Mm.
Morbius
Yeah, well,
is
he
kind of
takes a while in understanding it himself, right?
well, he doesn't want to face it, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
the monster is of Morbius's id, and it was I'm not sure if it's said outright, but reading between the lines, maybe when his crew was first there, and his daughter was young, maybe it was the kind of jealousy or
Right.
protectiveness
Yes.
that created this monster as yeah, as a, like an ultimate protector of Alta, right? It was always
Yeah,
linked to Alta.
I think it was also there was he and Ulta were happy there on the
Yeah,
planet, and they decided no,
yeah,
it's time, we need to go home,
yeah.
and he
You're
was like,
right.
no, I want to stay here with my daughter. You guys can
Yeah.
get lost.
So
Yeah.
his worst urges, were animated.
Yes. Yeah.
The pun unintended, but I'll take points for it. And
Hey.
and it was acted out to his subconscious desires, right?
Yeah.
And now the creature is coming in for the final kill, and um, yeah, it's a fun kind of thrill ending, but
Yeah.
it's got kind of I felt it was kind of going through the motions a little bit.
A little
Uh,
bit, right? It was sort of just like, right, let's wrap it up now.
yeah, we have
Uh,
the window shutters that we saw before coming in handy, and
yes.
creatures
Yeah.
banging away. It's gonna get in soon.
Yeah. Oh, and obviously, Robbie short circuiting, trying to
Yes,
protect them because he now realizes, no, I can't harm the monster because it's actually Doctor Morbius, right?
yes, exactly, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a nice payoff of that
Yes,
idea,
I mean,
right?
I thought we were gonna. I thought it was a little bit of Chekhov's gun, Chekhov's smoking gun, or whatever, with
Hmm.
that destructor beam, right? Like, obviously, I now understand it was to show that that he will do whatever he's instructed to. But I
Yeah,
thought at some stage someone was gonna get thrown into this beam, right? I was like, come on, someone needs to get destructed by this beam.
maybe a
But
nice way of sidestepping Chekhov's gun. There, you might be expecting it, and it
true,
kind of
yeah,
swerves
yeah,
the other
yeah,
way.
true, exactly,
Um,
exactly.
but it is Morbius's act of acceptance of the truth, and disowning that part of him, right? That sends the
Yeah.
monster away. But he is injured by it, I believe. And yeah, so by his wishes, they build a destruction device for the planet, and everyone leaves, and we watch through the view screen. Although I think it was called the viewing plate, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was.
the main viewing plate. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
plates. I was quite charmed by that. I was like, wow, they don't
Yeah,
even
no,
have
it was
like
cool.
they don't even have like TV, or
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
uh,
then I mean, I love how Leslie Nielsen's there holding Alta, and they're all happy ever after and everything. And he's like, "Yes, that's right. Your father and everything you ever loved about to be blown up." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks for wrapping it up.
yeah, yeah.
Like, just relax, man."
And also like the kind of cautionary tale, like we are going to be in a similar place where they are,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah,
um
yeah.
yeah, so that wraps up the nice brisk 90 minutes of Forbidden Planet. So we can now move, I think, to your best and worst science moments, if you have them ready.
Yes, yes, I do have them ready. I mean, let me say, worst science moment. I mean, it feels unfair, right, to give this film a worst
I know
science
what you
moment. And I
mean. I
mean,
know what you mean. Yeah.
because it's early and it's before space travel, everything. I mean, the only thing I could perhaps critique is the fact that without a doubt, it was just like pretty much okay. Well, the planet's just like Earth. Um, you know, if it's habitable in any way, it's like Earth. We don't need space suits. That's that.
It's a Class M
Um,
planet.
exactly, Class M planet. We don't need spacesuits. It was just sort of brushed over very quickly. Obviously, it was probably so that that you don't have to have the characters in spacesuits the whole time and everything. But I suppose that's the only sort of bad science moment I can come up with.
Can I submit one for consideration?
Please
I
do.
think
Yes.
I think Robbie, simply for a lack of imagination, because I think you can just if
Okay.
you're a writer in the 50s,
Right.
you can just write a robot that thinks faster, and
Right.
Um, you
More
know,
futuristic, right? More sort of
yeah, I think
unbelievable. Yeah.
it is such a um like our computer technology is not going to advance much beyond what we have now, and
Right. Yeah.
therefore a robot would act like this. Yeah,
Yeah. No.
for
But
just for the lack of imagination, I think. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely, you've got a point. But once again, I'm like, okay, but you want to get the '50s audience to understand the robot, so you've got to make
yeah,
it more like a computer of the day. So that's why doing a worse science moment, all of them feel a little bit unfair. That's why I think best science moment. I mean, there's two very strongly conflicting ones for me. I think there were two fantastic things right at the beginning of the film. One which I will just mention is they step into those sort of transporter like devices, right?
yeah,
They never really explain what they are, but I assume that they are some sort of protection against deceleration. So they
right.
moving at nearly light speed or
That's what it was. It was
superluminal
right off
speeds.
the light speed
Exactly, they step
talk.
in them. So it's some sort of field which prevents their bodies from experiencing the effects of slowing down, right?
Yeah,
And they never get into it, but I think it's quite interesting that they thought of it. It's very easy in the 1950s to just be like, oh well, the spaceship slows down,
hmm,
cool. But it was something that they thought about. They're like, no, this is going to be really incredible negative acceleration. The human body wouldn't be able to withstand it without some magical field. But I think by far my best science moment actually is I don't even know how to describe it, that sphere that they have in the center of their bridge, the mechanical navigation device where they've got the little flying
yes, yeah,
saucer in the middle with these spheres going around it. Because just I mean, I don't know exactly when Vostok, the original with Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space. I don't know the exact year, but it would have been before the 1960s, I think, or maybe 1960. From Vostok to the very first Soyuz capsules, so the Russian equivalent of Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo. You have Vostok, Voskhod, and Soyuz. All three of them had a very similar device called the Globus. I think it's called Globus, which is they have a little, literally a tiny globe, right? So like a globe that you would have like in a classroom, where you can go and look at all the countries and everything. They have a tiny little one of those in a mechanical computer with clockwork and everything, which turns this globe around, and that is how they navigate it in orbit. That's how they were able to plot their courses and navigate with their ship. They had a little globe, a physical representation of their spaceship in orbit, moving around like that. And so, seeing something like that, where it was clearly some sort of mechanical computer with this little spaceship in the middle and these coordinate spheres moving around it, I absolutely love that, because that would have been realized in reality maybe 5 years later. And it was an extremely reliable method of navigating a spacecraft. So that's definitely my best science moment. I thought that was fantastic.
and it's already better than the kind of Star Trek naval 2D plane that I feel like is
Exactly.
all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
everything. Yeah,
yeah.
um,
No, so it was definitely something like, I reckon they didn't even think about it much. They were just like, oh yeah, just that's how we'll show the spaceship in space. It's this
yeah.
little spaceship with these spheres around it. But that's exactly how they did it for the first 20 years. I mean, I don't know if they did a similar thing in the American spaceships, but I know that the Russians did it for sure.
Right.
So yeah, I love that part.
I'm surprised by that. I
Yeah.
like it when you kind of zag on your science moments, because I would have thought like, oh, 9,000 thermonuclear reactors or something, or
Well, you see,
something about
I
the thinking
yeah,
machine, but instead it's
exactly.
like an analog navigation device.
Exactly, because I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, sure, okay, the thinking machines, everything, but I feel anyone can appreciate that.
yeah,
It's a tiny little thing like that which grabs my attention immediately.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before, once again, before this is before Sputnik, before
Hmm.
anything man-made had ever gone into space, and they already have that idea. where
Yeah,
there's this physical, mechanical computer for navigation. I absolutely loved it.
yeah. Well, good stuff. So I think now we can kind of go into final thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've spoken about a lot, but um, this is a great cultural artifact. If you get a
yeah,
nice, you get a wonderful window into kind of the thinking of the time, where um, ideas of science maybe being a threshold that we shouldn't try to pass. Right, people might be thinking that about nuclear energy at the time,
mm,
and you have the literal enemy within, right?
yeah,
The kind of skepticism and fear of communism and how that might pervade around the time. And um, I like it, the idea. I like when they treat space as a frontier, right, of exploration,
right,
and
yes,
um, kind of like the old explorers of old times, kind of taming
yeah,
the new world, right?
you're right,
Without the
yes,
genocide, I hope, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
um, yeah, it is uh, a cultural artifact, a technological artifact of film history, and it might not be the most entertaining thing in the world, but it's absolutely worthy of attention and
yeah.
merit. So for that
Yeah,
reason, yeah,
completely. And I mean, even in this day and age, right? I think like if you consider yourself a serious sci-fi fan and you appreciate classic sci-fi, I think you definitely need to give this film a watch. You know, like
yeah,
having now watched it, I mean, we've spoken about it throughout the entire episode, how there's all kinds of ideas which we recognize from later sci-fi. And
yeah,
you realize that, oh well, they've been done already. They were done all in this film. They might not have been done in as much depth or with as much narrative behind them, but they were already touched on. So it's sort of, this is like setting up a whole lot of setting up the next few decades of sci-fi. So I think it's definitely something which every serious sci-fi fan should return to
yeah.
and get
I
under
w-
their belt.
yeah, I always like the kind of seeing them kind of struggle with an idea of like, oh, you're not quite got it right yet, but that you're trying
Yes,
already is so exciting, right?
exactly,
Um,
exactly. Because now, then you we've seen it in Star Trek later, and you're like, oh, well, they did get it right
yeah,
eventually, you
yeah,
know. So yeah, this is sort of like the beginnings of the thought process. Yeah.
yeah. I just want to kind of add a little bit onto my point, because I think if you're interested in history, like events of history and the great characters and leaders of history, there
Yeah.
is a lot of merit into interacting with the art of the time, because it can tell you
Yes.
so much about it. And yeah, I was really struck by, there's one mention, right, of nuclear, but it's just
Okay.
as a power source of this machine.
Right. Yeah,
But
and yeah, you're
it's
right. But
all over the themes of this film. It's all over
absolutely.
everything, right? I
You
love
know
that.
absolutely that it's nuclear related, but they never
Yeah,
actually say it. Yeah. No, you're
yeah.
completely right with that.
It's like Godzilla all over again, right? It's not
Right.
about it, but
Yes.
it's totally about it, right?
No, exactly. I mean, I also don't know if you've ever watched. I think it's about the same time, 1950s. The uh, I don't know what 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
No, I haven't seen one.
There's
No.
a movie, and that's also about. And obviously, this is based on a movie on a book written even half a century
Yeah.
before the movie. But they speak about this this untapped energy source that powers the submarine, right? The Nautilus. There's this mysterious untapped energy source which no one understands, which cannot fall into the wrong hands, you know. And you're like, well, okay, I know exactly what that is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but they never mention it. And I mean, that's also from Jules Verne, so that's 1920s or 1890s or something, right? Like before they even knew what nuclear was. But
Yeah.
they knew that, okay, at some stage there's going to be something like this, right?
Yeah. Um. So yeah. I see in our notes that you also had a final thought about a remake. Do you wanted to bring
Yes.
that up?
Well, I mean, I was doing some research and I was suddenly thinking, like, you know what, this film, normally I'm against remakes, right? And I mean, I would hate to see a remake of this film,
Uh-huh.
but I could somehow imagine it. I could somehow imagine someone remaking it and it potentially being quite good. And when I was researching this, I stumbled across some sort of rumors that there might be one in production.
Yeah, it's kind of
Nothing.
it's like something that's kind of been changed hands over like a few
Okay.
decades now. Like, oh, this guy was attached, and now this person's
Right.
attached. Now this person's going to write it, and
So that's sort of what it seemed like, is that there isn't really a plan for it, but that people are interested in remaking it.
yeah.
Um, I mean, obviously, a remake would break my heart, right? I would
Well,
watching it, I would
I
be like,
disagree.
oh,
I kind of have a policy on remakes. If you want to
okay,
remake something that you know was good but didn't reach its full potential,
okay,
or,
yes,
or had some like obvious uh,
yes,
negatives to it, then full speed ahead, right? Because then you get Battlestar Galactica, right? The 2000s
okay,
version, which is a remake,
okay,
right? Because that the original show is not quite good. It's a kind of crappy Star
okay,
Wars ripoff, right? So
right,
take something that didn't quite get there the first time and update it for modern times, of course. Modern
okay,
ideas and themes, and
yeah.
run with it. I'm not sure
I
what
mean,
the kind
that's
of modern um, analogy,
yeah.
allegory would be to the story, but I think go for it. I think it'd be really
No,
exciting.
I'm glad you've said it like that because I couldn't quite articulate how I felt about it. Somehow I'm like, I would hate to see a remake, but
Yeah.
I think that they should do it. I think that this is a good film to remake because I think it would also be quite different, right? They would have to change
Yes.
quite a lot, and that's good because if you just remake it and it's just the exact same film but with updated effects, I'm not interested. Don't want to see it,
Yeah.
right?
The
Like
backgrounds are going to be worse. The monster's going to be worse. It will. Yeah.
exactly, but so you have to then change the actual film where it's based on this, but it's got its own flavor, its own feeling. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would definitely be interested in seeing a remake.
Yeah. Um, Same here. Same here. Uh, so we'll see what happens with that. Something to
Yeah,
keep an eye on as
definitely.
it
Yeah,
possibly develops in the near future. But yeah, if that's everything, then I think
I think so.
we can wrap up here. So that was Forbidden Planet, of course. I think that was a fun one. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Uh,
same. I'm looking forward to doing a few classic
yeah,
sci-fi
yeah,
movies
yeah,
as well. They'll obviously be interspersed, but I do enjoy going back and looking at these old school ones.
yeah.
They're right up my alley.
I really want to do Quatermass in the Pit one day.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yes,
I
absolutely.
want to save that for like if we get a good audience, if we manage to
Yes,
grow an
yes.
audience, because then we would be able to make them watch Quatermass in the Pit,
Absolutely,
right? Which,
absolutely. Just like
you
you
know,
made me watch it.
oh yeah,
No, because
that's the
that's
pinnacle.
one that it needs to get
Yeah,
some publicity. Yeah,
yeah, that's a one for us, not one for them.
exactly.
We'll do your Dunes and your Star Warses, but that's a one for us. Quatermass,
Indeed,
yeah.
indeed.
Um, yeah, but as for next week, we are going to be back with a discussion on a new release, Gore Verbinski's return to cinema after what was it? It was 9 years, I think, without a film.
Okay,
Um,
wow.
Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Um, a film about the AI scare, I guess we could say that.
Okay.
Um, Shot entirely in Cape Town. So that's going to be a little fun one for me to nerd out over because I know people who worked on this, quite
Oh,
well now.
cool.
So
Okay, very
um,
nice, nice, nice.
that'll be a fun one. So yeah, until then, please, please, I'm begging, like, subscribe, comment, give us a follow. It will help us grow
Yeah,
into
indeed.
whatever this is going to be. And yeah, until next week, live long and prosper.